In Module 3, we are going to introduce SAMR, which stands for Substitution, Augmentation, Modification, and Redefinition. SAMR was a model designed to help educators to use technology more effectively in the classroom and how to assign tasks. Dr. Ruben Panter created the model, and its basic goal is to transform the learning experiences so they result in higher level achievements by the student. It has 4 different levels. You have substitution down at the bottom. This is basically where we are just putting technology in place of the traditional methods of paper, pencil, etc. Augmentation, where it's able to make the task or the assignment easier to complete. Then you have modification, where we have a significant redesign. This may allow more collaboration, etc. Redefinition is where it's entirely brand new and we would never been able to complete the task before the age of computers. Kind of compared to coffee, similar to coffee. If in the substitution stage, if you just kind of look, well, that's just plain black coffee, nothing added, and it's all simple. There's just a direct tool substitution, no functional change. Then maybe we add a little bit of milk, steamed milk, and create a latte. It's a direct tool substitution, but with some functional improvement, a little bit better taste. And then for modification, you have a significant task redesign. This is where you have to bring the barista or a lot of creamer to make something like a caramel macchiato. It becomes a treat. It's not necessarily just a plain old regular. And then redefinition, the last part, is the pumpkin spice. This is the kapow, the awesome taste. And this allows the students to create entirely new tasks or have new tasks created by technology. SAMR also kind of correlates to blooms and the fact that there's different levels. But in blooms, if you just stop and think about it for a second, we move up and down the funnel. We would love to see up in the top 3 creating, evaluating, and analyzing. But as we're instructing students, we kind of have to make sure they have the facts and know the facts. They know and they understand what they are before they go up into the higher levels. If you look at SAMR as a swimming pool, over on the shallow end, you have substitution and augmentation. This is basically where you're getting a foot wet, you're kind of breaking out the computers, getting used to them a little bit, and you're just getting comfortable, checking out the temperature a little bit. And then you start going on a little bit more, and that's where you get into modification and redefinition. But kind of keep in mind, as you're transforming the education down in the deep end, that you kind of need to swim laps. Because if you're just treading water down that deep end, you're going to become tired, and so is your students a little bit. And you also need to make sure there's just some tasks that are better using just a simple substitution augmentation level in order to make these great projects using technology or having the students make these great projects. So it's important to use different labs. Now here's what, to have a better grasp, I'm going to show you about 4 different scenarios. We're going to go over where they need to be located at and see if you can figure it out before we uncover the clues. First scenario. The students select the 3 most important presidents in American history and download images of these people. They then use a presentation tool of their choice to add their explanation for choosing these presidents and share the finished product by emailing it to the teacher. As you're looking at SAMR, it's important to think about this task before the age of technology. What would students end up doing? Well, they would go to the media center, look up different presidents, maybe encyclopedias, and try to find a president. The pictures of it so they can draw them onto a poster board. Also looking up all the facts and everything, and then post it on that poster board and hand that to the teacher. Well, in this scenario, technology, they're doing the same thing, but it's a little bit easier. They're able to download images and place it into a presentation tool and everything. And the teacher doesn't have all these poster boards, they just have all the email files. So essentially, we haven't really changed the task, we just make it functionally improvement, made it easier to complete. The other thing I want to show real quick, think about trying to have the most important and explaining. That's higher order thinking skills according to Bloom's. Augmentation is down the lower end of SAMR, but we have higher order thinking skills. So there's not always a direct correlation with SAMR. It's just that in Bloom's, just showing that SAMR you need to kind of go back and forth at times is how it's similar to Bloom's. Next scenario. Students read a scene from Hamlet on the Chromebook. How would you do on that before the age of technology? Well, you just get the play out and you read the scene. It's the same thing. So all we're doing is substituting the computer for the book. Third scenario. Students select a topic within human history that they would like to research further. Students create a multimedia presentation via online timeline maker to teach classmates about their topic and provide them a link to the presentation so each student can deeper explore and interact with the content further. So we have this task in everything, and before the students be able to do it online or do a timeline on a piece of postboard and provide the research, have pictures and tasks, you have the multimedia, which kind of adds a little bit more to it. But the bigger addition is where the students can interact with the content. This is modification because it's not entirely, it wouldn't have been entirely inconceivable to do this project. Just a little bit cumbersome, and it won't have as much collaboration amongst students. The last piece, the last example, students created an electronic questionnaire to better understand world customs and beliefs. Share the questionnaire online with schools all over the world and publish that data on interactive map to support the research and hypothesis. Would this have been possible before the age of technology? Not really, not without a time long where if you had to mail everything out throughout the world and get responses back. So this is definitely a redevelopment because we're breaking down walls. We're able to have the students create and share throughout the entire world their findings. So basically, SAMR is just a model to assess the use of technology within your classroom to try to encourage our students to have higher achievement levels. Thank you.